We shouldn't be surprised that meta glasses are being used to commit crimes against women, but something that did surprise me is how it's even worse than I initially thought. Because meta glasses are being used not only to record people without their consent, but a lot of the wearers are modifying these glasses to make sure you cannot tell you're being recorded, even if you know what meta glasses are. And to make matters worse, this footage that a lot of people take is not only non-consensual, but it is also ending up on the wrong side of the internet. The topic just seems to get darker and darker. So I'm gonna make this video, first of all, to tell you guys what are meta glasses, and then we're going to dive into what has been going on with meta glasses and react to some different videos that I have seen floating around regarding this topic. Now, I do want to put some content warnings in, which is that obviously this is a very heavy topic. Like a lot of the things I discuss on my channel and on my social media, we are going to be discussing obviously filming people without their consent and what that entails. So that is kind of the main topic of today's video. So if that upsets you, then please take care and don't watch this video. So if you have been living under a rock, which honestly I respect, if you don't know what these are, good for you. Meta glasses are a type of glasses that have been developed to be able to film people. And initially this seemed like a really great invention because they could be used for people who have disabilities, especially people who have sight impairments, because these glasses are also able to tell you facts if you speak to them. And they have this kind of AI software which enables you to be able to basically get around and know what you're looking at. So for example, with people who struggle with their sight and they aren't able to see very well, they can describe objects in front of you, they can give you directions, they can help you with fun facts. So, you know, as someone who isn't huge on AI, I do think that there is definitely a kind of like gray area, and there's definitely something to talk about when it comes to using AI for people with disabilities. I wish that we didn't have to use AI because I think AI is bad for the environment ultimately. They are fitted with technology that allows you to ask them questions to film, kind of like what an iPhone does, but with your glasses, which again, I don't know why you can't just use an iPhone for most people, but that's kind of the topic of today's video. So I've got a TikTok that we're going to watch, which will kind of explain them a bit more, and we'll kind of react to that first.
Woman, then you'll probably know why these sound like a terrible idea. Ray-Ban and Meta have created AI smart glasses that have a hidden camera built into the frame. I wonder why someone might buy them. The smart glasses are connected so you can ask it questions on the go about things like football scores and what the weather's like, and also take a video of your POV without people.
So that's where we kind of see the problem arise, because when you listen to the beginning of this description, you might think, oh, they're just asking for fun facts, they're just kind of like learning about things. What's the problem with that? It is the filming people without their consent. That is the worry that we have. So that is kind of like the talking point with these glasses. It's not the fact that they help you with information or anything like that. It is the specific problem of them filming people without their consent.
People knowing. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Let me tell you. 2 Harvard University engineering students have highlighted the potential danger of privacy and security using these glasses because they have created coding that doxes people live.
This is the kind of scary stuff that I'm talking about. And it turns out that actually it's not just people who are putting in this facial recognition software. The actual glasses created by Meta nowadays have implemented that software themselves. So this is not even just people modding the glasses. This is literally a thing that the company is doing. Now it says here that they are basically able to take any type of information that they want, which is terrifying. So we'll just quickly watch the rest of this video.
Via the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. Are you terrified yet? The 2 students have connected their program and the glasses with an online, freely available facial recognition technology. So
even before the fact that the actual company was trying to implement this themselves, this software that someone made to be able to dox people basically was free online. So anyone could use it anyway. So that's been the point from the get-go, is to identify people and essentially stalk people, which is crazy.
Direct via the glasses / the camera lens, it will search that person's face and pull up all the available images of that person available on the internet so that you can identify them right there, live, in person. Their program can also...
whoever made these genuinely is insane, in my opinion, because how can you see a software that literally identifies someone based on their face and can give you any information about them, and you think, yeah, that's a really good idea to just hand out to strangers? Like, this sounds like something that maybe like the FBI could use to profile people, but I do not want random civilians to have this. This is so dangerous. And again, I'm not talking about people with disabilities, because if this can help someone who has a disability, then that is amazing. I still disagree with elements of it, but I do think, I'm not going to argue against that. But at the end of the day, that's not the problem. The problem is men filming women without their consent. I don't think that you guys realize how easy it is to profile people from these videos, because again, you are getting multiple angles of someone's face. Now, again, whenever it comes to technology, facial recognition software is how you use iPhones and things like this. So it doesn't really surprise me that they're able to collect this data and then find out who someone is, because we already give so much of our information away online. And yeah, it's absolutely terrifying, because not only are we seeing people's faces leaked, and then obviously people are finding out their real name, but also things like their address and their phone number, which most people wouldn't even know is connected to your face. So it's really scary how much information is actually online about you as a person. Like, that is genuinely terrifying.
They use AI technology to search up freely available databases online. So once they have a name from the facial recognition software, they are now looking that person up live again via the glasses and this program to get information like someone's home address, where they work, and basically any information that's available of you online. So what does this mean? Well, if someone sees someone that they might take a liking to, they already...
So basically, if you guys can't tell from this video, the problem is if someone takes a liking to you on the street, whereas normally if you walk past someone and they're creepy or weird, you can just be like, okay, I'm not going to see them again. If they're wearing these glasses, they can find out anything about you possible that is on the internet, anything connected to your face, they can find, which just makes so much easier, because all they need is these glasses, and the glasses do all the work for them. Like, is this not insane? Is this not absolutely dystopian to be thinking about? Because this video was posted in January 2025, so this was exactly like over a year ago, and we're now seeing people removing sign that the camera is on, which, if you don't know, Meta glasses have a little light that glows when they're on, and that's the kind of like proof that they're filming. People are removing that. So I'm going to show you guys an example of one of these clips where men are filming women without their consent and harassing them with these glasses.
That means you've just been heartbroken or something.
No, it doesn't always mean that.
I'm pretty sure it does.
I'm pretty sure.
It's kind of just like a...
Yeah, again, it's just not funny, is it really? I mean, I hate catcalling, and I think if you do that, you genuinely just don't understand how women think, because no one is going to be told, oh yes, your hair color looks like you've been heartbroken. Like, why would you say that to someone? That's so weird. Like who think that's funny? Like, no one would think that's funny or like entertaining or whatever. Like, and again, you can tell that she's so uncomfortable, because she's kind of like, like, you know what I mean? Like, just trying to be friendly. And I don't know, it just kind of makes me so uncomfortable to see this type of interaction, and seeing it being filmed when she doesn't even know this interaction is being filmed is crazy.
A heart drop moment. I don't think there's any other way of explaining it. It's just like, oh my god, he posted the video, he recorded me first of all while we were speaking. I just wanted to cry.
It's so sad seeing that. So she describes literally wanting to cry, because like, you don't get the choice to say, actually, I don't want to be filmed. Like, he's made that choice for her. And this is why, like, I made another video about these glasses, which I'll show you guys too. This is why I believe these glasses are part of grape culture. And you can disagree with me all you want. There's a difference between actual grape and grape culture. I'm not saying that they're grape. Obviously, they are not, because they're not like touching a woman in this case. Like, it's obviously not that. What I'm saying is it's part of grape culture. And I wanted to show you guys a point that I made stitching another creator. So I'm going to show you. So you can see in this video, you can see the exact problem, because this guy is walking up to a pretty woman who he obviously wants to talk to, and he just is filming them with the glasses, and they try and run away. They run around him because they don't want to be filmed. And I just find that so depressing. that like they are having to watch out for a man filming them with glasses when they're just trying to have a fun night out or whatever they're doing. Like, that's crazy to me. So yeah, this is a point that I made, which I got a couple people disagreeing with me on this, saying that meta glasses are part of grape culture. And I want to show you the point that I made in this video, which is that they are treating women's bodies as public property for male entertainment. That is why they are part of grape culture. No, that's not the same as actual grape. I'm not saying that. It's not the same thing. But what it is part of grape culture. When you view women's bodies as entertainment, as, oh, it's a free for all. And I see so many people defending these glasses by saying, oh, well, it's in public, you can film. That's still not okay. Women's bodies are not public property. Just because you're in public doesn't give you permission to film a woman, to use a woman in this way. And again, that's why I say it's part of grape culture, because voyeurism, which is what this is, which again, I made another short form video calling it that. It is voyeurism. Voyeurism is illegal in so many countries. So the fact that we are basically creating tools to make voyeurism so easy and accessible to is terrifying. You guys know I live in Japan, right? And I've lived in Japan for over 3 years, and throughout living here, I have had to deal with some of the worst cases of stalking, harassment, people filming me without my consent. I've dealt with all of that, right? So I can speak from firsthand experience living in a country where it is illegal and it is seen as like a really shocking thing to film someone in public without their consent. And actually, I had it happen to me in a shop. I was in Shinjuku, and someone came up to me and tried to film under my skirt. And you know what happened? You know what happened that makes me so upset? Is that the shop staff asked me to leave because he said, oh, you're not safe here, instead of asking the actual criminal to leave the shop. So he allowed the criminal to stay shopping and probably go and find another victim instead of actually defending me, because it was the easier thing to do to just tell me to leave. And that just shows you like the problem is that like it is so often just the case of blaming the victim. It's like, oh, well, you shouldn't have been wearing that. You shouldn't have been out in public if you don't want to be recorded. I have literally heard people saying that. No one deserves to be treated like this. Like I said, as someone who has been a victim of people trying to film me without my consent, no one deserves it. It is not okay. And no one should condone that type of behavior. It is just grape culture. I've said this before, I'll say it again. It is grape culture. And if you don't believe that, then I think you need to research what grape culture is, because grape culture is not just the act of graping someone. It is also the things around that, the things that surround that, the way that we view women in society, the way that women's bodies are viewed, the way that people see them as objects. They think that they can just film us, like ogle us. And I would say like an animal, but as you guys know, I am actually also like an animal rights advocate. So I wouldn't even say like an animal, because we shouldn't film animals in a kind of ogling, creepy way either. I don't agree with that. Like non-human animals should be treated with respect too. So it's just dehumanizing, and that is like the best way to put it. And again, I'm not trying to say that every man in this video who, you know, films people is a creep, but I am going to say it. I think a lot of them are, and I think a lot of them are kind of getting away with this behavior because they just use it for shock factor and they think it's funny. And I don't know, I think it's really hard to give them the benefit of the doubt, because even if someone is just trying to create funny content and they don't have a malicious intent behind it, the problem is if you're still using people without their consent, that's just wrong. That's not okay. And, you know, most of the time it's trying to get content that elicits a reaction. So they're trying to say things that will make women react. And usually that's by being creepy, like catcalling them, or being rude and insulting them. And I just find that so unbelievably sexist and misogynistic. That is disgusting that you think you can treat women like that just to get some cheap views. And if you have to do that for views on your platform, I don't even know if it's even worth having a platform. If that is like how you choose to go about it, that is how you choose to get views and to get money. I just think it's very unethical. So we're going to watch another video.
Boyfriend or something?
Okay, that's enough. No, that's enough. You need to leave me.
What do you mean?
What are you doing?
So this man is going up to some women who could even be girls because they look really young, which is creepy, and filming them, asking them if they have a boyfriend, which again, why are you doing that? I don't know. And then this lady steps in and defends them, which I think is really admirable. So let's see his reaction.
No,
talking to you?
I don't care. You need to leave for me.
You know, you in my own business.
I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, that's the frustrating thing is like men will try and dismiss women who are trying to defend other women and try and be really horrible about it. Like, it's just so creepy.
You need my own
I
business.
don't care. You need
need
mine
my
here.
own business.
Go.
I wasn't talking to
No.
you. Get out my
You
place.
need to leave for me.
Nah, I wasn't talking to you.
What do you do?
I wasn't talking to you.
Okay.
Why, you want my number or something?
Yeah, we can take it outside.
And the way that immediately he assumes at the end, oh, do you want my number or something, to the woman who is defending these girls is so telling, because of course his reaction is to try and make it egotistical, to make it about himself. It's like, oh, well, you just must want my number, and that's why you're, not letting me speak to these girls. What? Like, she's trying to defend them because you're being creepy to them. Like, that's crazy. That you would make that you draw that conclusion. But that just shows you the type of content that people are making with these glasses. It is almost always content targeting young women who are either by themselves or in like small groups with others, which again is literally targeting vulnerable people who don't have someone to defend them. It's really interesting that they only have the guts to go up to women who are alone or who are just like really young, like girls, because they know if it was someone who was in a group with guys, they probably couldn't get away with the same harmful behaviors that they're exhibiting here. That's why I'm saying it is part of the misogynistic society we live in. That is what has allowed it to become so widespread, because we somehow think that this is acceptable behavior. Okay, so here apparently we have people filming doing procedures. So here there was a video that apparently was filmed of a girl getting a Brazilian wax. And the person who was doing this decided to film her.
See the video of the girl who was getting a Brazilian wax job and noticed that the person who was giving the job was actually wearing metaglasses. If you don't know what metaglasses...
So if you don't know what a Brazilian wax job is, because I'm sure some of my male viewers might not know, a Brazilian wax is where you wax like your area, like your crotch area. That is what a Brazilian wax is. So you can imagine why women don't want that being filmed, for obvious reasons. Why do we think this is acceptable? Because again, what is this footage being used for? Because of course you can say, oh, maybe they're using it for their profile, if they're going to, blur it and then use it for promotion. First of all, the client didn't consent to that, because they obviously talked about this and said, oh, this is weird. Like, why did this happen to me? And secondly, what else can you going to do with that footage? Because I find it incredibly suspicious. Why not just use a normal phone? Because if you're filming something that is so intimate, surely you want the person that you're filming to know. Because if you're wearing meta glasses, like, they're not going to know. And is that the point? So yeah, we're going to talk about how things have been getting worse with this situation, because obviously what I've been showing you is how the situation has been developing over the past year. But things have gotten worse. So let's discuss what has gotten worse with meta glasses and how people are basically finding ways to get away with committing crimes because of these glasses. So here we have a man who is offering services in the Orlando area, which is in America, Orlando. Is that in Florida? I think that's in Florida, I believe. Again, I'm not American, so I don't know. But yeah, so he's offering services to remove the light from meta glasses. And this TikTok that he made, offering this service, has over 90k likes. 90,000 likes. 90,000 likes. For him talking about how he removes the light on these glasses. Now, why do you need to do that? The only reason you need to remove the light on those glasses is to make it a secret that you're recording. Why do you want it to be a secret that you're recording? Why do you want that? Because that is so unbelievably suspicious. And this is not the only video that I've seen of people removing the light. There are tutorials on TikTok with hundreds of thousands of views and likes talking about how to remove the light on these glasses, because of course there is a demand for it. There are men who want to film in secret. And now that women are catching on that actually meta glasses exist and they know that the light indicates that they're on, men are now trying to hide that. You cannot tell me that that is not grape culture. That is absolutely grape culture, because you are trying to film someone without their consent to the point where you are even doing everything you can to hide the fact that you are filming. That is insane to me. That is actually insane. Like, this is so unbelievably dystopian. I cannot believe it. So in this video, he's just removing the light, and then we can see him give it back to the customer. And yeah, he's charging like $100 to remove the light. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that the client was okay with being filmed having the light removed, because it's like, that's a very suspicious thing to have done. And again, I'm not trying to, blame any of the men in these videos. I'm sure some of them aren't removing the light for weird means, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, can you tell me why you're removing the light? Because I can't really think of a reason that is, innocent. I can't really think of any good reason. So yeah, it's very, very suspicious to me. The situation has essentially gotten worse, because not only are we seeing people using these glasses to film women without their consent, but as soon as women catch on that that's what they're doing, they now find out a way to make it even more discreet that they are filming. Now, if you don't know, hidden cameras have always been a problem for women's safety and for feminine presenting people in general, but they clearly are becoming more widespread, because in Japan, hidden cameras are a huge issue, and also in Korea as well. Some people will go into women's toilets and they will hide cameras in there. Some people will go into women's changing rooms and they put these tiny little cameras in there so that they can record. And then what do they do with this footage? It's not even as bad as just one person filming this and keeping it, because we are now finding out there are massive sites that men are using to upload this content and be able to watch others' content of being basically recording women without their consent online. And they are paying each other for these videos sometimes, or they're getting paid to make custom videos, which is so disgusting. And men are viewing this kind of like a corn site. So, they'll request things, they'll like comment horrible, gross things. It's really terrifying. So this is another example of a girl who was filmed without her consent in Brighton, I believe.
Walking home when a man approached her.
He was wearing glasses, they just looked like sunglasses, and he just asked for my name, and he asked where I was from.
2 weeks later, her friend sent her this video on TikTok.
Basically, the reason I've come over, I know it sounds a bit
kind of scary that all he did was ask like where she's from and her name, and already he can make like a video about her and get people to talk about her in like a weird way. Just from that information, they can make content on you just from an innocent question.
I know it sounds a bit strange, but I'm in a bit of a rush, and I think you're really pretty, and I'd quite like to grab your number. Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, have a nice day anyway. Yeah.
She realised that he'd been filming her using...
I don't know, and it's the way that, she's so sweet when she is like rejecting him, and to me this would be like a normal interaction if it wasn't being filmed. Why is he filming this? Like, why? Just for views, for content?
Smart glasses.
I had no idea that it was happening to me. I didn't consent to that being posted. I didn't consent to being secretly filmed. I felt really vulnerable in that moment. It was so out of my control, which is the scary part for me. It definitely made me feel afraid to kind of go out in public.
The video,
and again, out of your control. Again, what does that remind you guys of? It's just horrible. I mean, it's horrible because, it's a very innocent interaction where a girl's just being nice to him. And what does he do? He decides to upload that to let people ridicule her online.
The video of Una got nearly 1 million views with hundreds of comments, many too explicit to broadcast. I contacted...
See, it's the fact that the women who are being filmed in this content, the type of comments that it gets are very explicit in nature, and I think that that's really scary, because people who make these types of videos going up to women, they can't just be naive to the fact that these are the comments the women will receive without their consent online. They can't not know that, right? They must know that when they film them, that they're going to be ridiculed and they're going to be harassed online. And that's what makes me so upset, is that you don't give them the choice. You don't give them the choice to say, actually, no, I don't want to be filmed. I don't want that to happen to me. Like, it is happening to them, and they don't get to say, no, I don't want to do this. Let's see what is happening with this footage. And this is obviously a lot darker than what is being posted on TikTok, which is bad enough. But yeah, let's see what the kind of the worst cases are with this.
Videos are literally hours long of men following women in the subway, at Target, at the grocery store, at the movie theater. And they're not even like the kind of women you're probably thinking. They are literally just regular ass.
That's terrifying. So this website operates on a points system where I guess the more you harass someone, the more points you get. Like, that's horrifying. Like, how does that work? I don't know. That's genuinely terrifying.
Women. Like, I saw a video on there of a woman that was probably 45 years old, like,
if a woman catches you taking a photo of her, you get bonus points. That's actually disgusting. That's actually, and again, this makes me really angry because, you know, a lot of people will say, they'll try and blame the victim and they'll say, oh, well, you wore this or you said that or you did this. The thing is with these types of men who use this type of website and like to take advantage of women in this way is that anything you do will be sexual. You could react not at all, that will be sexual. You could react angrily, they will objectify you in that way. Whatever you do, they will find a way to make it. It's about the person. It's about the person who commits the crime. They are the one at fault, not the woman. You know, it's never to do with how she acts.
Mother walking to the movie theater and a guy is following her for like 15 minutes and taking zoomed in videos of her in sweatpants. Now, all of these videos have,
again, a lot of times with meta glasses. So already these glasses are becoming widespread and common on these types of websites where people are filming women without their consent. That is so scary. I can't imagine being someone like walking around the store and like not knowing someone is following you for hours. That's so scary. It's nothing to do with how women dress, act, what you wear, what have you, because like she says in this video, you know, mums are being targeted, like everyone is being targeted. Like, you know, it's genuinely so distressing to hear about. Like, it's just so horrible, and it's the type of comments that you would kind of see on an adult site. So to see it about just an average person who's just going about their day and doesn't even know is so scary and depressing. I don't know, it's just horrible. And in terms of like what we can actually do to combat this, I have been thinking for a long time about what to say as a solution, because usually whenever I make a video like this, I like to be able to say, oh, well, here's what I believe we should do. And honestly, I would say the main thing is to have stricter policies when it comes to designing tech and making it safer, because why is this still being allowed? Like, why is this happening? The development team didn't think about safety when they made these. They didn't consider it as a priority. And that's why these types of decisions are being made, because women's safety is just not considered as much as everything else, like making money, making something that people will want to use, profiting off of creeps who are using these cameras to film women. And that's what makes me so upset, is that, again, it's just like women's safety and us being comfortable, like just existing in public, is always an afterthought for these people. Like, they don't even care. Like, that's so sad. Essentially, that is the whole situation with Meta glasses. What is going on? You know, in the comments below, what do you think of Meta glasses? Have you seen them before? Have you heard about this topic? Is it something that you know anyone who owns these glasses? Let me know. They're quite expensive, so I was surprised a lot of people own them. I've even heard about people in schools owning them, which, again, don't know how. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you again so much for watching. Please stay safe, and yeah,